Hey everybody, I'm back. I've been on the biggest adventure. Wow. Um, yeah, so I'm going to be pausing a lot today because it's still unpacking. That last audio video was literally bringing in a new energy, um, and that led to big activation, which I'll just touch on. And the activation was a plasma light body activation, which kind of put me in stasis for 10 days. So just masses of downloads and unpacking, and really following on from the messages that are coming through about this interstitial interlocutor, the space between the cells, which is now becoming the space between dimensions. So the plasma light body is going to accelerate communication between. Okay. So you insert the between here, between cells, between dimensions. And what it's bringing in are two different densities. And so as it activates the human body, well, it's just going to, your body is going to process it in lots of different ways. Okay. And so it might feel weird, wobbly, might feel like you're liquefying a bit. It might take you into a deep process. You might get masses of downloads. We're in a Taurus Uranus flashpoint at the moment, so it could come in from anywhere. And so you might need to slow down. Okay. So that's why I've been quiet. Just client work. That's all I've wanted to do. I haven't wanted to come to camera. I haven't even wanted to make another audio recording. So just kind of being with these changes. I noticed the way I write has completely changed. And I was working on a 16-year audit of my journey with Pluto, which turned into a graphic book. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's not for publishing, it's just my gift to me for the colossal change as I've journeyed with Pluto and partied with the party that's been going on in Pisces. It's been all squares and oppositions for me this last 16 years, but the changes have been phenomenal. So, journeying with Pluto gave me a sentence for Pluto in Aquarius. And the sentence is, I did this to myself. Okay. So what I'm sensing is the energy that came in on the audio recording was quite cold. It's quite a cold energy, very adult energy, very authoritative energy, personal responsibility energy. And in the house of Aquarius, in the collective, it's looking like an audit. It's looking like a collective audit. It's looking like taking responsibility. The example I was given was somebody who complains about being called on their phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And then complains the next day because they're tired, because their phone rang in the night. Okay. I did this to myself. And it was my choice to leave my phone on. All right. So, and that's going to feel some kind of way. because excuses can be brilliantly crafted, strong, convincing, believable, and I think we're going to get cold on it. Okay, I did this to myself. And so that's in the mundane level. In the higher mind, there comes the wisdom, the realization, and the light comes in. And the I did this to myself becomes so that I did this to myself so that this would open up, so I would trigger that. So I would learn that, so I could process that and build that. Okay, so that was a stepping stone. So there's going to be lots of learning, and it'll open up as it opens up. You may have new guides coming in. You may have a new voice coming through, a new energy coming through. I'm certainly with it, and I'm making no judgments or assumptions because I've no idea where this is going. I'm just noticing that my writing has changed distinctly. Sorry, I don't know about that. In the meantime, I haven't touched my cards and they feel very dusty, like they've been hidden in the back of a room for 50 years. And since I saw you last, I have bought these Kim Crans. Wow, it's amazing. And tell me, girls and boys, if this isn't the cutest little book you've ever seen. Look. I love the deck so much, I bought the big deck. So I'm using the big deck. But this is beautiful. So I'm asking for messages for the collective, and 4 cards fall out, plus the underlying, which are like, ooh, this is interesting. Okay. And we start with the village. My screen reversed itself. Oh well. So we start with the village. And this gave me all sorts of messages about belonging, or the antithesis of belonging, and how we feel about that. And the illusion of belonging as a cover-up for codependency. And a challenge to tribe is how that village is coming through. And the next card is the empty room. This feels like 0 degrees of Pluto. And it's Monday the 18th today, so the movement begins tomorrow. It's going to, Pluto's slow, 248-year cycle. So I think maybe between now and next spring, there's going to be a lot of movement. So the empty room wants to take us into the void. Okay. Our body wants to sneeze. The empty room, right, okay, listen. I think it was 2 Wednesdays ago, whatever the date was then, 2 Wednesdays ago, after the audio, after I made that audio, the next day I woke up at stupid o'clock and became really aware that I was empty. I didn't wake up with a thought or a download. There was nothing. I just woke up and I was empty. Oh, this is interesting. So I went straight into the void to play just to see. And in the void, that's when this plasma light body activation happened. So that happened in the void, that happened in the black. Right. This is what I'm getting. You sure that's all you want? You sure that's all you want? And pearls to me speak of culmination. Pearls take a long time to grow and they begin with an irritant. Okay. And so we definitely have the threads of all the old cycles, the threads of the old formatted mind that keeps going to pathos, that keeps going to its suffering and its wounding. I'm not saying there's no case for that. I'm saying it keeps. Because there's a switch point here, there's a flip here of using the same sentence in a different way. I was all alone. There's a sentence. I feel all alone. I have to feel alone to access this space. Okay. Same sentence, different direction, point it in a different direction. So I did this to myself, puts us in our architect shoes. We are the architect of our world. And so, yes, there's going to be a big wave of personal accountability that's coming in with Pluto in the house of the collective. And it's generational. So this is going to be a global theme. So look for it all the way up the fractal. I feel unseen. I'm accessing the unseen. I'm accessing the unseen part of me. You see the difference. The pathos is I feel unseen. This higher mind that's coming in, I'm accessing the unseen part of myself. I'm accessing the empty room within me. And the okay, oh, low. And the underlying energy is the mountain. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, this actually speaks to something like Saturn in Capricorn. Capricorn, the house of personal resource, sorry, 10th house of career. I've been working on a different chart. 10th house of career, vocation, the way to make money in the world, the house of quick wins. This mountain feels like, oh, there's something else coming in here. Because the card under that is the river, and water can dissolve a mountain. And a mountain can be something that has drilled a thought that has drilled so far into material reality, it's become real, fixed energy. But the water of the personal Akash, the water of memory, the water of emotion, can dissolve the fixed belief system, the formatted mind. Wow. The work in the world. Wow. Corporations crumbling. Okay. So something with the unseen, unexpected in the empty room. So if you know how to access your void space, that might be good playtime in this bridging from one sign into another by Pluto and the underworld. Okay, so what does the underworld of the House of Aquarius look like? What is hidden in the collective? Right, okay. This is the She Tarot underlying card. Waking up. We'll have that. Right. Speak to me about the underlying story, waking up, intuition, a labor of love. That's the mountain. Order, transition, gratitude. This feels like Hierophant energy coming in. But if we just pulled some clarifiers, clarify the mountain and the castle. Let's go castle first. Right. I actually want to clarify the village, the castle, and the mountain. So let's clarify the village first. Actually, do you know what? You know what? I'm going to go to the Russia's deck because it speaks so deeply. So this is the musical alchemy of astrology deck. Clarify village, please. The sentence is slowing down. Slow down and think. Slow down and think. Break away from the hive mind that wants to find its village or its tribe. Look how this is all changing. And we have sulfur, the bad smell, the stink bomb. Soul of all living and material things, sparkling new narratives, complex compound rhythms, instigating the future now. Flash of inspiration ahead of the game. I am the village is what I get from this. Okay, this is the codependency of belongingness. When I belong to myself, I don't need to belong to anything. When you belong to yourself, I guess the question there to work with is, how do I? Do I belong to myself? What does belonging even mean? As a feeling, what does belonging mean? I am values. I am luminous. I am shrouded. So do I go to the village when I want to shroud myself? Can I be luminous in the village? Well, that's Pluto in Aquarius. How do I bring my weird to the village? Collective. Are these? Yes, they are. Right. So I'm holding two cards, which turn out to be the clarifiers. So one's for the castle and one's for the mountain. So the castle clarifier is quincunx. The castle at odds with things. Ergo, ergot, dancing plague. Challenging all through fear. Yeah. Yeah, that's the challenge, to flip the sentence. And we know this is not happening to us. I'm not going to insult you with that. How different does it look if you change the phrasing to, I made this happen so that, I architected this moment so that, what is it? What am I teaching myself? So the student becomes the teacher, and vice versa. So the castle, speaking awkwardly, not honestly, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. If we're gonna explore, wow, it's pouring now. If we're gonna explore our underbelly, our shadow, our underworld in the house of Aquarius, then it's not going to be tidy or polite or courteous or nice or loving or light or all of the shallow. It's going to look awkward and we're going to mess up. Okay, I'm still holding this as a question. How does that speak to Castle? Right, the question, which floor do you occupy in a castle? Are you in the basement? Are you in the scullery? Are you in the living quarters? Are you in the turrets? If you're in the turrets, what are you looking out on? If you're on the living floor, who are you hanging with? What's the company like? What's the experience like? If you're in the scullery, what's the company like? What's the experience like? Who are you on those floors? Who are you in the floors of the castle? Yeah, rationalizing cognitive dissonance. I have literally been writing about this morning. Listen, and both are true. There is no conflict that cannot be reconciled with a reframe, or no conflict. If you're wonderful, you're dark, and both are true. If you're helpful, you're unhelpful, and both are true. So when we hold that cognitive dissonance and who am I in this today? What persona am I choosing to live through today? Which aspect am I embracing today? It's choice. We come into that ownership of choice. Is it okay for me to wield my sword today? Is it okay for me to be loving and huggy today? Is it okay that I'm seen in those extreme aspects of myself? Is it okay I'm going to be judged in that and feel awkward in that and self-conscious in that? Present but deliberately sabotaging. This is some tricky angular energy. Look at the angles in the symbol. Angular energy. So quincunx is at odds with things. That's balancing the cognitive dissonance. It's okay to be all. We live in polarity. Look for polarity. Don't just see that someone's, I told you not to do something. Scratch that. When you see that someone is lovely and kind and da 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 da, please know that they're also the exact opposite of that, whether they choose that or not. They have that. We have that. So balancing the tension of opposites. I am easy, I am difficult. Well, it isn't one or the other. I'm easy and I'm difficult, depends what day it is. But that makes you unpredictable. And a castle. Wow. These stories are feeling different, as in, I can't readily map to them, which tells me I'm beyond the formatted subconscious mind that knows the shape of everything. So this is new mapping coming in. I'm sharing that because I'm not the only one. Right, the mountain. Let's have a look at the mountain. Gives us Pisces. Okay, right. I'm going to share a couple of things that have been shared with me. One is I've been studying the astrological wheel, just the 12 equal sign house, with Pisces as first house. And then I go backwards and I read the story of the birth from the cosmic ocean. And when I read it backwards, it starts to make a different kind of sense. Okay, so Pisces birthing, fusing with the higher mind in Aqua. And we go around and you make your own story up and try it and play with it. Because all the archetypes are going to start changing. It's already started. And the other thing I was given was a key, an astrological key. So say, for instance, Sag is in your first house. The key is the numerical difference between the fixed house of Sagittarius, which is 9, minus 1 equals 8. So a key energy that you can work with is 8. Okay. To balance and harmonize. So evolution, involution. Okay. Going out and coming in there's a balancing in that 8 code. It depends what the code is. But if you go to the true house and where it is in your chart and take the smaller from the bigger, that's a key code. I don't know how it works. It's all coming through and I'm just bringing it awkwardly. So Pisces, the cosmic conjurer, the birth, Neptune and Jupiter. Yeah, mutable water, interdimensional oneness. I can just disappear in Pisces. Interdimensional oneness, alchemize, succeed, folds in time, projection, shining inner abundance. And this is like everything we've brought in with us. All of our mapping systems, those that are not yet activated, those that are obsolete, those that are activating now. It's all in that inner fluidity, the inner Akash. It's all in there. Don't need to go and see anybody to access your Akash. You just go within and sit there for a while. Pisces, I am exhilarated. I am soporific. And both are true. So where is there room to be in the lethargy that can sometimes be experienced with the House of Pisces, the deep, deep water? A song that played for me during my activation integration was Emily Sandé, Breathing Underwater. That just kept playing in my head over and over again. And that's the acceleration qualities of this plasma. It's like, what's the next step on from super broadband? Super fast broadband, cosmic broadband. I don't know. But today is the first day I've felt anything like myself. And desire brought me here. I said I wouldn't be back until I felt the call. And yeah. Yeah. So this is coming into flow state. And we have the river on the table as well. Esoteric sea sponge collecting and sharing magic. It's beautiful. sharing gives me telepathy. Interesting. Underlying is, here we go. Right. The underlying energies are basically the moral challenge. Morality is a human construct. Say the moral awkwardness of expressing yourself at your essence, expressing the essence of yourself. What is that? I don't know. That's where you've got to work the mountain. Slow, steady progress. So essence is, what's your song? Musical autograph. Signature song, essential oil, pure scent, precious purpose, one. The house of self. I am false, I am authentic. Okay. We have to work that polarity because it acts as an alchemical conductor, if you like, an alchemical force where we can just trigger both ends of it to get it to vibrate. Because in trying to express our pure form, we've got to get it wrong. To get it wrong, we need to write ourselves a big fat permission slip to be awkward in public, to be a bit of a tit sometimes. And I did this to myself, will urge us to take responsibility for that moment. I could have done that better. Can I have another run at that? Okay, so really experimenting with awkwardness. I guess alchemizing it into strength, into a beauty, an awkward beauty. Eris, moral compass challenges. Raw feminine disruptor. That's what we need. The raw feminine disruptor. Rocked off course. Turmoil, tempest, chaotic creatrix, controlled fury. I think that kind of explains from here to next spring. As we turn the wheel and move into new degrees of ourself that we don't know. That we don't know. That are looking at us. Eris, I am chaotic, I am ordered. Essence, false and authentic. So there's a big alignment here coming on through the energy of cognitive dissonance. So I've been telling myself that story for the last 30 years. Is there any room to rewire that story and just nudge the mind just 1 degree in a new direction to look at a new vista? Is there room? Dare I do that? Dare I rock myself off course of this old belief system? So this is the old Piscean woundedness, which is thinning. It's thinning. I get the words daring and bold. Okay. There's a card that's fallen off the top of the deck, which I'm going to clarify. And it is the offering. Where am I going? No, 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 no. Maybe. I'm going to go to the numerology deck. Talk to me about the offering, the collective. It's literally flipped itself over at 55. Wow, that is some fast energy. Adventure. Okay. It can be an adventure to say the wrong thing. It can be an adventure to willfully say the wrong thing just to see what happens. It can be an adventure to experience yourself in the void. It can be an adventure to experience you're lost and alone in a completely different way. I think all bets are off at the moment. All bets are off. So shall I call this the unseen adventure or the empty room? We'll see. We'll see. And that is it. I'm going to wrap this up with I feel like I don't know my cards anymore. Maybe my cards don't know me anymore. Oh, God. They feel prehistoric. Oh, interesting. What about you? Let's go. I don't know what these cards are called. It's a false oracle something. Okay, closing message. With this, I get a message about commune with everything. Leaves, horses, birds, butterflies, with no expectation for a response or a meaningful message. Because, you know, one thing I notice in the collective is this expectation that this is going to give me what I lack. Okay. Big picture, that's the whole putting God outside ourselves, putting spirit outside ourselves. And there's so many new energies coming in, and they're here now. They've been coming in this last 6 months, like at such a pace, and they're kind of here. Like there isn't a day goes by at the moment that I don't feel this. And so commune, because this is coming in for a reason. So what am I to you? What can I bring? What do you need the most right now? What do you want me to trigger in myself? Trusting companionships. Okay. Commune with everything. Evolving insight. All bets are off. So I wish you whatever you wish for yourself. and I will be back with you when the time is good. I've really enjoyed doing this, coming back to camera, and having a complete break from reality. Conscious, controlled psychosis. Okay. There has to be a psychosis to move as far out of the formatted mind as we can to birth something bizarre. So, my playmates, I will leave you with that little lot, and I'll see you all again soon. Please do all the clicking things. I love your comments, and be back soon. Take care. Bye.